I'm just about to get it kicked off then. Yeah. You ready to go live? Can't believe my feet look. But yeah, what up, good people? Welcome to another episode of the Strategically Reckless Podcast. I am your host, Jay Brown, aka Mr. 710, and we are back up in this thing once again. I want to thank everybody for listening via iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon, Amazon Podcast. All you got to do is tell Alexa to play the Strategically Reckless Podcast, and you will get me. That's what's up. Also, I want to thank you for listening via Instagram or Facebook Live or YouTube Live. Y'all are dope and we greatly appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But look, man, I got a lot going on for y'all tonight. I did not do a show last week, but I had a lot going on. Wasn't feeling too hot, but I'm ready to rock and roll today. That's my bad, but I got y'all. I got you. And so listen, since we're gonna do since last week, unfortunately, I gotta talk about Nashville. Talk about getting attacked in the parking lot. Yeah, me and my brother, we got attacked in the parking lot, and we're gonna talk about these accusations. I know all the ladies out here going crazy for Jonathan Majors. Yeah, man, we got accused. And if we got some time, we're gonna talk a little bit about some Bobby Brown and also some women's fashion. But yeah, this show is brought to you by the 710 Print Shop, where you can get all your custom threads. All the custom threads. You can get the Human Cheat Code t-shirt, sweatshirt. You can also get the Shogun Strike Academy bowling shirt. That Shogun Strike Academy bowling shirt, I can't pretend like it don't make people strike, because anybody that's won it done shot at least $2.99 at least once, I believe. They done put up some scores in this shirt. I gotta make one for my brother, Left Hand Rookie. But look, all right, let me go ahead and get into it. Speaking of bowling, so last Thursday, after my brother and I, we put the beat down, along with a couple of my other teammates. We put the beat down on this team. We put a super beat down on them. What up, Hollis Jerry? Super beat down. We get done and we talking in the park. We usually talk in the parking lot after we get done bowling. Now, let me go ahead and preface this story with I was telling my wife this story, and she didn't like it. And I was trying to reconcile if she didn't like it because of where it took place or how it took place. But what ended up happening was my brother and I, we got attacked by two girls in the parking lot. And it wasn't the attack like they didn't beat us up or nothing like that. But what ended up happening was we were standing around, we were talking, we were having a conversation, talking about our bowling and whatnot. And this white car with paper tags pull up, and it's these two girls screaming out the window. Now, let me just go ahead and let you know, having some girls roll by and scream out the window at your boy, you see it. No, but for real, like, if that happens, my brother's really damn good at bowling, and I got my qualities, I got my strengths, but they were yelling out the window, and it kind of caught us off guard because it wasn't a car that we recognized. Once you bowl somewhere for a long time, you pretty much have an idea about the cars that's gonna be in a parking lot and who's coming in and out. And this car was one that we didn't recognize, and we damn sure didn't know who the hell would be yelling at us out of the car. But the girls were like, hey, y'all want to buy a plate? Y'all want to buy a plate? You know what? Y'all ain't got to buy a plate. Can you just take a picture holding the plate? And I will say at that moment, I was instantly turned off from the entire idea. I was turned off by the entire idea. Now here's the crazy part. I was hungry. My wife let my favorite dog eat both of our plates while she was getting the girls ready for bed. Harley always seems to catch my wife slipping. Always seems to catch her slipping. But back to the girls that pulled up, one of them looked like she was 12, hollering out the window, and the other one, she was driving, of course. And so we wasn't thinking too much about that. But part of the problem was, once you start telling me, hey, you ain't even got to buy it. You could just take a picture with holding it. And I'm thinking, like, why would I want to do that? That sounds a lot like false advertising to me. And as someone who owns a shirt company, I'm not riding around with boxes of random t-shirts telling people to take a picture holding this shirt as if you done bought it. I appreciate the people who buy my apparel and then take a picture with it and send it back to me. I appreciate that. That is dope to me. Because you've actually spent the money. Some people, a lot of people don't. If you don't know me like that, then I get it. But for the people who made a purchase and then shot me a picture, they made the purchase. I'll ask them, hey, would you mind if I post this? And if you do, I won't post it. If you mind, I won't post it. But it's one of those things where I definitely appreciate somebody taking a picture with something that they bought. I had never even thought to ride around with some clothes and with the intention of, hey, I might sell this, I might not, but if I don't, just take a picture holding it and that'll suffice. Let me get something out of this transaction. And like I said, it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way, because I'm just like, And so it didn't stop at that point. Like, they think we playing. And they got out the car. They got out. Now listen, when I tell you that I've seen enough, I've heard enough, and where we from, you get two random chicks pulling up on you in the parking lot talking about something that didn't really make sense, like trying to sell us a barbecue plate at 10:30 p.m. out your used Lincoln with paper tags? The answer is automatically no. I'm not that hungry. And so it felt like a setup. It felt like as soon as we dug in our pockets for some money or pulled out our wallets, that this whole barbecue situation was going to change to something else. So we never went for the money. We never decided to, we didn't even see the food. That was the other crazy part. They were trying to show us pictures. They didn't get out the car with plates, styrofoam, none of that. They showing us pictures, and I'm like, I don't want to see this. My brother's making jokes about the pictures, like, hey, this dude looks like he might be homeless. This dude, I didn't know he hungry, so I know he didn't care. And at the same time, Nayana D, what up, though? At the same time, I just could not see myself. Purchasing a plate in the parking lot at that time from y'all. And we were trying to be nice to get them to move around, like, we good. We I don't know. I'm not even hungry, and I'm not going to just take no pictures. And then had that been the end of the interaction, I might not even have been talking about this at all. But it wasn't. The one girl gets mad, storms off. I ain't begging them to do nothing. Come on, girl. And then the little one, and she wasn't 12. She just looked 12 in the face until she got out and then started talking. Then she looked 39. She was like, that's the reason why black people can't get ahead. Because y'all black men won't even support black women. We out here trying hard, and she pregnant. And we out here trying hard, and we trying to sell y'all a barbecue plate, and you won't even support us. We were the problem. We were oppressing them at 10:30 p.m. in the bowling alley parking lot. It was our fault. We came up with that approach that we did not like. It was our fault. It was our fault that she put them 10 toes in the air and got pregnant. It was our fault. We didn't do it, but it was our fault that she had them 10 toes in the air and was raw dogging. No. First of all, I'm not going to take the blame for none of that. Ain't none of that my fault. I didn't call you over here. I was chilling. I was having a good evening. And then I went from having a good evening to being the person that was the reason for black people not being able to get ahead. Because we didn't want to buy a plate that we didn't see. We don't know where it was made. We don't know how long ago it was made. We don't even know these people. And you think you getting ready to get us to eat some of your food? You think we about to get Cosby by your salmonella? Come on, man. We ain't doing this one, man. That's ridiculous. Like, I was like, how you gonna be mad at me? Like, sit down and when you get home, after talking trash about my brother and me, I want you to sit down and think about, I was really mad at them dudes because we pulled up on them in the nighttime, real late at night, yelling out the window and telling them that they needed to buy a plate. That's what y'all didn't do. Y'all didn't buy no plate. And can you believe that they made us get out the car? She pregnant. Show us their pictures. So we was showing them some pictures and everything. And then they still didn't buy no plate. Asking us all these questions. I was at least gonna follow them. I was gonna follow them on Instagram and give them a shout out, but I wanted to see something other than some random ass pictures. Like, do you have a real business or are you just making stuff? Like, I don't think I saw any food in the pictures that they took. They showed they had people taking pictures with a blue bag and a brown bag that was tied up. I don't know what that was. Come on, man. Like, Greg, come on, man. I ain't knocking nobody's hustle though, but at the same time, listen, I'm just not going to ride around and we'll ride around with a box of shirts like, hey, this will look good. Stand right there, hold that up. If you want to buy it, you can buy it. It's in my size, but you can buy it, and then I can go ahead and take a picture of you with the shirt. First of all, that shit is goofy. I'm not gonna do it. Secondly, I think it was just all in the way. There was a way that they could have got us to at least donate to the cause. But hanging out the window like Glorilla, we're not doing this. I know. It's a bad way to start off a sale or a transaction. Hanging out the window with your, what's the lyric? With my ratchet ass friends, let's go. I will say, had they played that real loud as they were driving out of the parking lot, that would have been funny to me. I'm like, hey, come back. Let me get a plate. My dogs might be hungry. But let me start. I'm gonna stop talking about the goofy stuff, and I did want to get to this Nashville shooting, and there's not much to add to this other than it's something that keeps happening. Like, it continues to happen, but it happens in different ways, and it's almost one of those things that feel like if it go down like this, how many people are going to be pissed off about it? All right, that's not enough to get somebody to move. If it goes down like this, is it going to be enough to get people to move? And at the same time, you're still sitting there, no. Like and now, so you go from, all right, there's a teenager going back to his school, a teenager going to a smaller school, and now you got an adult going back to a Christian school and shooting up the school, and they are, and not just staff. Like, you would almost think as an adult. Like, I think they said chick was 28. What up, Jay? I think they said chick was 28, but you out here hitting 9-year-olds, and like I said, we don't know why. We don't know why. But at 28, if that was gonna be your move, you would hope that you could go practice. You able to go practice once you get of a particular age, so you can make sure that you are sufficient with your targeting. Like, for you to go back and you hitting kids on top of that, like, that is rough. Sharonda Monroe, what's happening? What up, Lupe? I can't even say that last part. Villarulas. What up, though? That's still crazy to me, because I just don't understand. You got 3 9-year-old kids that got killed today, and 3 staff. And one of the reasons why it's so, like, why this one kind of hits home is, like, when you see kids on TV, and when you hear news stories about a kid that was killed, and you have said kid that same age in your home, like, that feels different when you have to, like, when you have conversations about the world. When you have conversations about the world to kids who have a small sense of entitlement when it comes to how they feel this world works, and it's just not true. And so we try to talk to them and teach them and help them learn things about time and gratitude and just how this world operates, in which you can't take anything for granted because nothing is promised and nothing is owed. And it's a concept that's not really, and a lot of kids won't grasp it. Like, for a lot of adults, they can't grasp it either. But the unfortunate part about not grasping like these type of situations is it'll be a 30-second conversation about, mental health, a 25-second conversation about gun control, and then that 5-second thought about whatever happened in that school's history that will cause this woman to go back, because apparently she was a former student, to cause her to go back and shoot a gun inside this place. And the messed up part about the situation is, as soon as something else happens, nobody even talk about it no more. Nobody even talks about it. Like, it takes another school shooting to bring up the school shooting that happened last year, where in Texas, where the school police or the police didn't go in. Like, you rarely see anything about Tyree Nichols anymore. Somebody pop up, and it's just today's news is almost like, it's not like back in the day before social media, where you had to sit there and watch the news or read the newspaper, and that's how you got, some of the information as far as what was going on in your city and around the country. Now, most of that stuff is just a post. It is just a post that you can just and swipe on. And swipe and move to the next story, and it's almost like, well, another school got shot. What do you know? Somebody else got killed by the police. That's crazy. And I remember when I first sat down, like, as I got old, it wasn't until I got older, like, I would watch the news every now and then because it came on right after the sports. And so, as a kid, you're not really paying attention to what you're seeing. It's just like, all right. It was like big news, crime, fire, crime, something that happened in court, the weather, sports, crime, feel-good story on the way out. It's just in. We have a report. We have John on the scene. John was on the scene of the deadliest weekend of shooting in the city. But you would get that, and it wasn't until I got older where, if you were watching the news every day like that, it just seems like it's just bad. Everything is bad. Like, Atlanta doesn't even seem like a real place. If you watch the news or pay attention to like ATL Scoop or something like that, and it's like cars get broken into, murder, more cars, crime, racketeering, drugs, crime, sports, Atlanta Falcons suck, Braves didn't win again. Ah, damn. And then all of a sudden, it might talk about the weather, lottery, sports. All right, man, time to go. We'll see you guys next week. That's what it is. Every day. And I feel like it's gonna come to a point where people will hear about 3 kids getting killed at a school, and it's just like, it's 3 kids that got killed. You hear about that, baby? Yeah, that's crazy. The end. The end. It's sad. I wonder what this security look like nowadays. Because I remember back in the day, like when I was in school, it wasn't security. We didn't have security. Like they made a big ordeal about it when, like, some schools in the city, in Chicago, in the city. I think it was on the south side that ended up getting metal detectors, and it was a huge ordeal. It was a huge ordeal for those schools to get metal detectors, and there was a lot of pushback. They're not in prison, and this and that, and it wasn't until, I want to say, Columbine happened. I was probably about 14 or something like that, maybe 16. And when Columbine happened, it was just like, they need metal detectors. Why did they have metal detectors at that school? That is ghetto. That you can let people still go into schools, and at this point, you know, it wasn't necessarily a thing, but it put school shootings on the map. And I know it happened. It had to have happened before Columbine, but Columbine was the first one that kind of put it on the map for, like, my generation. And now it feels like it's school shootings that make the news at least 4 times a year, maybe more. And it's almost like, man, where is it safe? Like, where is it safe? Because now all these schools might have a little security dude walking around. It's not the little school police, the coach, the assistant principal, whoever. Like, there were places that seemed to be off limits when I was a kid. Like, you didn't mess with folks in these settings, and now, like, all of that's out the window. And there feels to be, like, no place that is like, you know what? Now we just gonna chill, man. They having a good time. You don't have it no more. You don't have it no more, and you know it's interesting, but at the same time, it's just, I don't want to feel like everywhere I go now that I gotta look upside people's heads, like, because this might be the day. This might be the day that I might need to, and whatever that might mean. But at the same time, like, I mean, you go back to the parking lot story, and we were looking at these ladies that pulled up, like, you know, what y'all doing? Are we gonna have to? We didn't know. Everybody feel like, if I don't know you, then people feel like a threat. Like, they feel like a threat, especially when it's an unnatural feeling when they are in your presence. And we tell ourselves all the time, like, listen, if you feel some kind of way about somebody when you in their presence, then you need to get away from them. You need to get away from them. You know, people be knowing. There was never a time at a party, at a basketball court, or anything like that where I didn't feel the energy change before it went down. Like, before a fight went down. Like, you can't, like, you know when the energy shifts. You know when you walk past somebody and you know they might be potentially on that nonsense. Case in point, one of my homeboys I used to play basketball with, you know, he was always a little out there. He's one of those guys that you wanted to you gonna be cool with them. You gonna be cool with them, but at the same time, you still gotta watch what you say around them, even though y'all cool. And that's how this was. And we had just played in a basketball game, and at this little after party, nice little spot or whatever, we hanging out, and Buddy walks up and he's like, "Hey Jay, man, what's going on, man? How you doing?" "Good, man. Real good." "Yeah, man. I'm just trying to be normal." "What?" "Yeah, man. Just trying to be normal." "Oh, damn, man. You know, I know how that could be. I know how that could be right there. Yeah, man. Shoot. Well, you know what, man? I'm about to move around, bro. Like, I'm about to check out the spot, man. See who else up in here, man. But hey, man, let me know if you need something, brother. Let me know." And I had to shake the spot. Like, I talked to a couple people and then I was gone because I did not want to know what it was going to look like if his trying to be normal didn't work. I didn't want to know what that was going to be like. He told me everything I needed to know in order to make a valid decision to go ahead and shake the spot. You trying to be normal? I don't know what that means, but before I figure it out, I'm gonna shake the spot. Me and dude, we still cool. We still cool. I don't even know if he'll probably remember this story. But I'm just trying to be normal. I'm glad. I don't think nothing happened. But yeah, it was wild, son. It was good. It was wild. And you know, you just never know. You just never know. And you know what? What are we talking about? Never knowing. You know, when I was a kid, I used to get in trouble for my brother crying. Like, when my brother cried, I got in trouble. And my mom was like, it didn't matter to her. She didn't want to hear him cry. And when that happened, I took an L. Whether I was wrong or not. He went up and told her, and since she was like, I'm not going to try to figure out which one of y'all lying, I just whooped both of y'all. And my dad was one of those types, he wasn't going to whoop both of us. He was going to tell me, he was going to give me some advice that I wasn't able to use when I was a kid because I did not know how. He was like, you got to figure out a way to stop him from crying. I'm like, he cry about everything. He be crying when nothing happens. So what am I supposed to do? Like, I didn't know what I was supposed to do. I had no clue. But the fix was keeping him from crying. The unfortunate part about the difference from when I was a kid to where I'm likening this to is my mom didn't ask me any questions before she doled out the punishments. And with Michael Irvin around the Super Bowl time, and just recently Jonathan Majors getting hemmed up on accusations, they had to pay a punishment because somebody said something. The messed up thing was they pulled the tape. Michael Irvin wasn't guilty. But you can't go back and have him host the shows and be on the shows that they pulled him from on the Super Bowl. They pulled him from shows and hostings on the Super Bowl because of this person. Jonathan Majors, you know, he got Creed 3 just came out. Ant-Man and the Quantumania, or whatever that movie is called, one of the new Marvel movies that he's in. And they can't ain't not gonna CGI him out the movie, but there's an Army commercial that's been played recently that they pulled based on an accusation against him that has since been recanted. And I know when I was a kid, whenever my brother would cry and get me in trouble for something that I did not necessarily do, that really put me in a bad space because I didn't know. It made me feel like I was helpless, and because I didn't know how to fix it. I think that was the biggest problem. I just did not know how to fix it. But I wasn't losing out on commercials or appearances or money or anything like that. I didn't lose out on that stuff. But these guys taking small L's, only to look at the tape and see that what was said is not true, but the damage is already done. You can't go back and redo that. Now they can put Jonathan Majors commercial back on. Not a problem. The girlfriend recanted the statement. Now, for whatever reason, she recanted the statement. That part, I don't know. Don't know. No clue. It's a bad part. As a man trying to have this discussion and trying to have, thinking through this situation, it's a tough subject because I know that there are so many dudes that have gotten away with various types of abuse because it wasn't acted upon when they actually said something, or they didn't say anything, or they told somebody and nobody believed her. And so none of this is meant to defend the guys. But what I will say is we have to figure out something to, there has to be a fix for the false accusations. Like, there has to be a fix for the false accusations. Now, like I said, I don't know the reason why she recanted. There are times in which an event happens, and I'll just say, using two random people, Tom and Jane. Tom and Jane have an altercation. However it played out, Jane decides to call the police. She tells her story. Her story will get Tom in trouble. Tom has something to lose. After they calm down, Jane decides, you know what? I don't want Tom to be in trouble. Let me recant my statement. That's not saying that it did not happen. I'm just not mad as I was anymore. And that makes sense. But at the same time, gotta figure out something. We gotta figure out something like, hey, either this happened or this did not happen. And if it happened, then he needs to be in trouble. If it didn't happen, then you need to be in trouble. Because nowadays, with the culture being what it is, if they say you did something, you guilty immediately. You guilty now until you can prove that you didn't do it. And as soon as they hear something, they are ready to purge your character. Oh yeah, I knew, yeah, this and that. And social media is relentless. It's relentless when it comes to stuff like that. They jump right on it. They jump right on it. And whether they're jumping on it to fuel the fire, most of the time, the court of public opinion doesn't help anybody, especially now. All it takes is two funny people, and you're going to be getting dragged. But people try to, like sponsors and whatnot, they try to get in front of the situation so that they don't look like they were last on the boat. Because their interests expand further than you. Oh. We got to pull this commercial. We don't want them to think that we think it's okay that you could beat women. Just pull the commercial and cancel the shoot. Let's drop them. And then if it come back that it didn't really happen the way it went down, well, like it was told, now it's like, I'm sorry, but we had to do what we had to do, right? Here's a little money to recoup that. Maybe. I don't know. It sucks. It sucks because so much happened before it got to this point where, you almost had to jump right on it. You almost got to jump right on it and be ahead of it. Because now they link everything that happens to you. And so, and let's just say I was on TikTok, or not TikTok, but on my print shop Twitter page. And when Kyrie posted the video that he got all the flack for, what if I shared everything that Kyrie posted, from Hebrews to Negroes to Hebrews to Negroes, whatever the movie was? Or if I come out when Kyrie is going through that thing and at the height of it, I say on my t-shirt page, or even on this one, hey, Kyrie Irving is a great basketball player. He is amazing. Kyrie Irving is dope. People will look at me like, hey, are you anti-Semitic too? No. I feel like he's a great basketball player, and I'm able to separate the athlete from the person. I'm able to do that. What Kyrie Irving does, I'm not gonna say it doesn't matter. I'm not gonna say it doesn't matter. If Kyrie was out here kicking babies or pushing people in wheelchairs downstairs, then I would think that he was a horrible person. I would still think he was a great basketball player, but I would think that he was a horrible person. Outside of those, outside of like those type of ridiculous things or whatever, like I can separate person from player. I can separate, person from their music. Like, and I have a hard time. The only person I have a hard time doing that with is R. Kelly. And there are just some songs that if I listen to, I'll be like, yeah, that was to a kid. That was to a kid. That one was to a kid. I can't listen to this song. Or there's certain songs I cannot listen to. There's some songs I cannot listen to while I got the baby girls in a row, and I don't know why. I never thought about it before. I just can't do it. I don't know why, and it's not that I'm thinking anything about them. I just can't do it. It feels weird. Now, like I can listen to what's it Miles Davis used to beat up women. I can listen to Miles Davis all day. I'm sorry, I ain't see it. I can't see myself like it's people that's done stuff. You know that they've done stuff, and you still listen to them. And so, and then you want to get the story like, I'm still a Michael Jordan fan. Now, what his gambling problem, and he might not be the best dad, and Marcus Jordan and Larsa Pippen and all this nonsense. Like, hey, and Mike, I would feel like Mike should step in and be like, hey, Marcus, no, not that. Not that one. Just on some, just for your pops, man. Not that one. You can't don't main that one. Like, that's, you're having fun, that's one thing. But hey, Marcus, don't main that one. So if he has some questionable thought processes behind him, like, hey, everybody, like Eric said, everybody has done something. Everybody's done something. The thing is, like, depending on who it is, they come out and say, do not judge this person by their worst moment. Sometimes your worst moment is horrible. But you gotta give these dudes a chance, yo. Because I do feel like, listen, I try my best not to have questionable interactions between myself and young ladies when I was out there in them streets. And we all could think back to a time in which it's like, I know that I didn't push up on this situation, but if she felt like she was uncomfortable, like, we dudes shot their shots back in the day because it wasn't as wide open as it is now. So you shot your shot, and you was just like, if she said no, then you backed off of it. You weren't gonna just keep going. At that point, I think I lost that one on more because I did not push extra hard to get none. Like, I shot my shot if it was like, hey, I'm gonna just see. And then she was like, hey, okay, cool. I'm gonna roll over and if I can't go right to sleep, then I'm about to go home. There's no need for me to still be here if you've already told me no. And that was my mission. And so I know that was part of my role. So I probably missed out because I didn't try again. I didn't try harder because she didn't want to seem like she was easy. Hey, what we're not gonna do is have a miscommunication. We're not gonna do that. I don't want to have a miscommunication because, and it wasn't even as bad then as it is now. But if somebody say you out here taking box, that is you're horrible. Hey, he'll take some wolf from you. Yeah, no. I never wanted to put myself in a situation in which there could potentially be, hey, you remember that time in 2001? Yeah, I didn't really want to do it that day, but you just kept putting it on my back. No. So I tried my best. I had tried my best. But those accusations be rough on these folks because they gonna act on them immediately. They are gonna act on them immediately. And so I would tell all you gentlemen, be careful out here. It matters what it looks like. Even if what it looked like and what it actually was is different, it all matters. Please be safe out here. Please be careful. got to be more careful. You know what? And so before I get out of here, I did want to talk about this thing real quick. And I was since I wasn't on last week, I didn't get a chance to talk about Sierra's dress. I was really looking forward to talking about Sierra's dress. And what I will say is, listen, good people, Sierra did not just start dressing provocatively. Hey, Russell Wilson didn't look like he was too comfortable with it. But at the same time, Russell Wilson has to understand that you ain't about to change people. That's your girl, yo. But still, like, there's only so much you can't put that on that I got leeway to say. And I've been married for, it'd be 8 years this year. And I don't think I've told my wife, but maybe a handful of times, like, nah, to that one. But it wasn't because she was out here butt naked. It was just something that she asked me if I liked it, and I was honest that day. Like, I just go with the other one. But I mean, once Sierra put on that dress, like, she's had that dress. She didn't get it that day. Hey, you know what it is. If I married an exotic dancer and she had a whole lot of exotic dancing clothes and she was built in a way that she is gonna show what she is proud of, I got my own decisions to make. Hey, you make your suggestion, baby. You part of your ass is out. And if she cool with it, and she is still an adult, she has made her decision, yo. Like, I don't understand why people try to pull girls out the strip club and be like, hey, I want you to put on this Pentecostal skirt. You can't do it. Like, why? Because the first time she dressed out of pocket to you, like, if that ain't what you always on, then they're gonna be comfortable in the way that they comfortable. It's just not gonna be one of those situations in which, like, hey, Russell Wilson gotta live with that. I don't know who was more mad, the dudes that was like, I'd never let my girl go out like that, or the women that was like, Russ, you don't deserve that. You deserve better. That's a good man. Why would she go out just like that? Because she's an adult. Like, that's the reality of it. She's an adult. She can go and put on some butt naked clothes. As a man, look. You just gotta be ready to be looking up beside somebody's head. And you can tell her, baby, I don't feel like looking upside folks' head today. Can you please not wear that one this time? Like, when we have Enrique with us, our bodyguard, then you can wear whatever you want, because I ain't gonna have to do it. Hey, Enrique, do work, huh? But outside of that, hey, man, I don't see. Look, if you saw Sierra in a long blue jeans skirt and a ruffled top, button all the way to the top, you would tell her to blink twice if she needed help. I know this. You'd be like, blink twice if you need help. What is he doing to you, girl? So when she go on the opposite end of the spectrum, I don't want to hear that. I want to hear that. Be alright. Be alright. You just gotta know, like, people gonna do what they gonna do. And people doing what they gonna do. Shout out to Bobby Brown. Before I get out of here, I'll say, Uncle Bobby didn't make it through that last performance. When fam got tired, he just was like, whew, I'm out. I'll see y'all later. Uncle Bobby gonna do what Uncle Bobby do. Shout out to that man. Hey man, Bobby Brown got to do some sit-ups or something. Somebody go train this dude, man, so that he could do the whole. All the New Edition songs had 300 steps with 8-minute choreographs, and he out here sweating like hell. He's sweating like hell, and Q Sweat drinking right now. Q Sweat out here like, I want your loving, baby. Shit. Girl, you got me twisted. I'm just playing with y'all, man. Look, I'm about to get on about this thing, man. The Bulls about to beat the Clippers tonight. And so, listen, fellas, public service announcement. Watch your backs. Don't get caught up in these streets, because you're guilty first. And until next time, good people, hey, dress normal. It ain't all the way summer. It ain't all the way summer yet. I don't want y'all to be out here getting sick. And pay attention to the small print of the news. Until next time, good people, stay safe out in these streets. I'm out. Y'all get some rest. In the broadcast, cool.